This is probably gonna look very weird because my head is like just making it above this line of the GPU. So it's, I don't know, this is gonna be so weird because you can't see my body. What's up everyone? So today I have a new build, as you guys can see, and I think this is the very first time on this channel that I actually have a computer build slash build log that is not budget oriented. This is actually a pretty mid to high end computer that I'm about to build here, and I'm actually building this for my client's nephew. I've built a computer for my client before and he liked the way I built it, so he contacted me a few weeks ago and then he asked me to build one for his nephew, and so that's what I'm doing. So most of the parts the nephew picked out himself. I did some optimizing and some fine tuning, but I left most of it the way it was. If you guys haven't noticed already, he does want a white oriented theme, so I try to get as many white parts, as weird as that sounds, as possible. But without any further ado, let's go over all of the parts and then I will show you guys some benchmarks and how this thing actually performs and some other cool stuff at the end of the video. I paired the Skylake CPU with the atypical Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. Unfortunately, I was not able to pick up the Cryorig CPU that he initially asked for because it was not going to arrive in time, so I opted for this instead. The plain black will be fine with the build and it will keep the i7 pretty cool and pretty quiet. So next up we have the B150 motherboard from MSI. Now I chose this mostly because it's all white, so it fits the theme better than a darker motherboard. If you may see the micro ATX form factor is an issue, but it works fine with the build. Unfortunately, overclocking using the multiplier is pretty much impossible, but he can still do the whole base clock overclocking if he really wants to. As far as memory is concerned, I picked up 16 gigabytes of all white crucial memory, clocked at 2400 megahertz for about $100. You can't really go wrong with this. It's clocked at 2400 megahertz and it works. So I mean, that's all you can really ask for. For storage, I went with a 256 gigabyte M2 SSD. It was only 50 bucks at Micro Center in store, so it was pretty much a steal. So I went ahead and got it. And then I went ahead and I paired it with a 1 terabyte hard drive for about the same price. This way my client's boot times and program load times are snappy while not worrying about space for games and for videos. For the power supply, I went with the CX550M from Corsair. Now I do understand that the whole CX series has gotten a bad rep the past year and a half to 2 years, but honestly this entire system is only going to use 300 watts maximum, so this thing will power it fairly well. On top of that, it's also semi-modular, which will help a lot with cable management. Everything will be housed inside the NZXT Phantom 240. Now this is a case of his choice specifically because of the white design, and I'm guessing because of the more futuristic, sleek look. So the entire build costs about 1,100 bucks, and that is including the PCIe Wi-Fi card that I do not have on this table, and then the Corsair fan right here. Now I'm going to go back and then I'm going to put all of this together and then I'm going to come back with the final build and the final build results. Now I would time lapse it, but I kind of suck at time lapsing despite it being very, very simple. But I will make up for that with some pretty cool B-roll and some nice fluid shots. So I'll be back, let me put this together, and then I'll come back with the final build and everything inside of this NZXT Phantom 240. All right guys, so I'm back. While building the PC, I actually took a shower and changed clothes and took a nap because building it took a lot longer than I anticipated. I don't actually have a name for the computer just yet because I can't think of anything that's cool but not too corny. But if you guys have any name ideas, then drop them in the comments below, and I suppose the comment with the most likes will get to choose the name of this computer build. Now, there is one thing that I changed. It was kind of a spur of the moment type thing. I previously mentioned that my client's nephew did not want the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo as his CPU cooler. He initially wanted the Cryorig one because of the white design, and because that white design pretty much fit into the color scheme perfectly. So what I did was I took off the stock fan that came with the Hyper 212 Evo, and then I installed the Corsair one that I showed you guys earlier in the video. So now, even though that the Corsair one is white, it does glow, not glow, but it does, yeah, it does glow pretty much white LEDs whenever it's plugged in and up and running. So that kind of accommodated for the lack of white in the center of the computer. Now, when it comes to gaming, this computer is an absolute beast. Now, I won't go too much in depth because I'm actually saving that analysis for a future video where I'm using this computer for something else. But I'll show you guys the benchmarks. Basically, this computer can max out most titles, if not all AAA titles that are out now at 1080p and maintain 60 FPS pretty consistently. I'll show you guys the benchmark, so let's roll the reel. So as you can see, it's a pretty capable 1080p gaming computer, and I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I hope that my client's nephew is satisfied with it as well. Now, I know that this is a shorter video than my regular videos, but it's mostly because this is more of a teaser for a future video that is coming out in about a week or two. So stay tuned for that. I'll go way more in depth, and I'll have way more benchmarks and way more charts and graphs and all that stuff that you guys like. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or just want to make my day with something happy. If you guys loved it, then subscribe because I have more videos like this coming out soon. So that's it for this, and I will see you guys next time in my next video. Peace out.